How you doing, guys? Manny from Manny's Content. I'm here with Celeste, KAITYLN. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. It has been an awesome event. I'm a little tired, but it's been so many great conversations.
You had a lot of coffee?
How'd you know? And it's coffee and Celsius. Non-sponsored Celsius shout out.
Hey, sponsor. Come on now. What y'all doing?
Yeah.
Stop playing. So, we all know you from WWE, and we know that you left WWE. Everybody was sad. When I found out about it, I was really sad. So, what was the decision that made you leave?
So this is something I talk about in most interviews I do in terms of my wrestling career. So when I debuted, I had no experience. Like, it was just kind of a crazy ride. I got hired. I was pulled up as a last-minute replacement for NXT, and I ended up winning that show, that season, right? And everything was such a whirlwind and I was super young, right? I signed my developmental contract when I was 23. So I didn't have a lot of skills to create like emotional, mental balance for myself. So I was just really struggling by the end of my career, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I knew I needed to heal in some way, but I didn't really know what that meant. But I just knew that things didn't feel right for me in my life. So I asked for my release with a couple of years left on my contract. It was a super hard decision, but I had the epiphany when I was in Baltimore. I asked for my release in Baltimore, and I realized that was the same venue that I debuted on NXT. And I was like, okay, this is kind of like a full circle moment. And I felt like it was like an omen to start to change my life in a different way.
You mentioned NXT, and I remember the game show. Yeah. You know, a lot of people wasn't really fond of that, but how was that experience for you, and how was it like to see what NXT has become?
Oh my God. So I was a part of NXT in its humble beginnings, right? Like, so it was the third season. The first two seasons were all guys. The third one was the all women. And it's super cool to look back and see the evolution of the brand in general. And also just like how far, not just the women, but I think the brand creatively has come in terms of, well, I guess I'm specifically talking about the women, but just like the quality of the performance and the integrity of the wrestling, and it's just super cool to see. I think, like, I think this is true for everything. Like, you know, when you're older and you look back at something, you're like, if I just knew this, or if I just did this, things would have been different. For so long, I felt like I had this amazing opportunity with WWE, and like I never quite lived up to my potential. And it took me a long time to come to terms with that. And now I just see it as a super important part of the development of my character and just who I am as a person. And I think that my time in WWE very much shaped who I am and the work that I do now in my life. So I feel like I owe so much of who I am to that time in my life. Yeah.
So we all know that life after WWE has actually been successful for you. So how have you been how was the transition for you from WWE to life after that?
So when I left WWE, I was in bad shape. Like, I was just going through a lot, and I was struggling in a lot of ways with my identity. Like, who am I now? Will I ever do anything as great as, you know, a career in WWE again? So when I left, I had an idea to start a business, and I had zero business experience. And I started a company called Celestial Bodies. And it was custom women's fitness apparel. And I did that for 7 years, learned the ins and outs of being the face of a brand, creating a brand, owning a business. And then through that evolution, I found my voice in a different way. And it's been, 11 years since I left WWE. So I had a clothing business for 10 years. It's really been a journey of entrepreneurship,
right,
and self-development. And then I started coaching, doing private group coaching about 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm still doing that now. And that has evolved into it's health and fitness coaching, but also helping people much like myself, entrepreneurs, grow and develop their businesses.
So I'm not going to take you long because you're racking up some more customers, some more fans, I would like to say. So just one last question for you. Will we ever see you again in the WWE?
That's the burning question. I'm always like, it was super important to me to always act and be in integrity, right? Like when I was there and even when I left, I have a great relationship with the company still. I went back in 2018 to do the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
it was a great experience, and it was a form of redemption for me, because when I left, again, like I was just in such a bad place. And even in 2018, I was still evolving. Everybody is, and I still am, but I have such a deeper understanding of who I am now, and just a different outlook. So back to your question, I'm always open to like super cool opportunities. I don't think I'll ever be in a place to be full-time ever again. It's just like a really a difficult lifestyle to travel so much, and so I would be super open to like just like a cool opportunity, like a Rumble or something like that, if it was aligned, right? So I'm always open to opportunities that feel good and that are aligned with what I'm doing now.
So you're telling me never say never.
Never say never.
KAITYLN, I appreciate you. My little brother love you. Can you just say what's up, Sam, real quick?
What's up, Sam? Wish you were here.
He's gonna blush. Where can they find you on social media?
So I'm mostly on Instagram. My handle is CELESTE BONIN. It's my first and last name. I'm also sometimes on Twitter or X, whatever people call it these days, and Threads.
I appreciate it. Manny's content. KAITYLN /Celeste. We out of here.